welcome to episode 215 of the Rusty Quill Gaming Podcast. I'm your host and GM, Alex, and you're with me today. I have...
Ben Meredith.
Bryn Monroe.
Lydia Nicholas.
Helen.
Okay, and what are you... Who are you playing?
Zolf Smith.
Hamid Rinella, who's about to fight a much bigger dragon.
Yeah, like Cell Sidebottom, who is confused by the fact that other people are doing dances at each other. There's taken away from the tension somewhat.
And
Azu. Woohoo!
I don't. Should we use this?
we're using this.
Okay.
We're using this. People need to understand.
For the listener, Helen and I have gone a bit odd.
Yeah.
The stakes got too high and the cast are struggling, and that's okay. That's okay.
It's like in the actual campaign.
We've just kind of gone round. There's been a stack overflow of tension, and now we're in very giddy territory.
Yeah, we're at the
It's all
catastrophic memory
silly.
leak.
Yeah. Like, oh no, what, we're gonna die? Wiggle time!
Wiggle time!
So, brief recap. We're technically not doing terribly fighting a potentially unkillable dragon while surrounded by a horde of potentially unkillable enemies atop Big Ben. Like, you're actually doing all right so far.
Yeah.
I think Hamid's proven they're killable.
Only one of you has been turned into a fine paste.
That's not true.
No.
Skrark is still alive.
Unconfirmed.
Yes.
Skrark is still alive.
Rumours of their death have been greatly exaggerated.
About 5
Surrounding a
rounds from
Skrark.
now, Skrark is going to plunge from the cloud line, land on the back of Gweave's neck, dagger first, and it's going to be incredible.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that. Don't hold your breath on that. Okay.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
And one thing before we go any further, which was one thing that was caught, is Gweave is she, her.
Oh, my bad.
Minor correction there. Miss. Well, in fairness, Gweave hasn't been kicking around too much as a character. She, her for Gweave.
Yeah, she turned up, melted the Eiffel Tower.
I apparently forgot completely. My bad.
So, without further ado then, we are going to come in at Wild's turn.
Ooh.
In which case then, Wild yeets himself off the tower. Just
Makes sense, yep.
Of course he does. I don't see this because I'm down a hole.
No, you don't. Sort of towards Selen Gweave.
Cool, makes sense, yep.
No.
None of us see this, Ben, because he's invisible.
Oh, that's a very
Oh
good
God, no!
point.
None of us do see it.
Can I get a perception check from Sel and Azu?
Yes.
18. As low as Cell can roll, really, because that's a 2. So, you know.
I've got a 15 and I can go lower.
Understood. Neither of you notice anything. Wicked.
Cool.
All of the horde that are like awash over the ground, like an ocean, like a sea, swarm towards the plant specifically, the sort of Houses of Parliament. They are moving en masse. Start thinking that sort of World War Z kind of waves from the film kind of thing. However, coordinated. They aren't tripping one another up. It's just for a moment it feels like the city is contracting, that sort of movement. A large number of them are moving sort of towards the tower insofar as it's in the right direction, but it's too early to tell whether they're going to be climbing it or not. But I would say they seem to be coming from almost all directions, bearing in mind that fight happening over towards the one that got away still seems to be intermittently carrying on. But yeah, there is a seeming innumerable horde all homing in towards Hamid. With that in mind, then, cool. Can I get an escape artist check from Skrark, please?
See, he's still alive.
Maybe.
They're still alive.
He's trying to
luck to
escape
him.
this mortal coil.
No.
Okay. I rolled a 3, so 18.
Okay.
That die is going in the naughty corner.
At this point, I swore to myself I would allow you 3 rolls for Skrark before I start taking over. Can I get the escape artist modifier for Skrark? I'm going to be rolling in secret from now.
Plus 15.
Wow. And can I get the fort save modifier for Skrark, please?
Plus 8.
You will not hear me ask for a roll again.
It's because he's busy flying up to land on Queen. That's what he's
Azu,
doing.
you are up. you for a very brief moment thought you might have been face to face with a Grieve, but thankfully, she seems otherwise occupied.
Yeah, everything is fine. For a value of fine.
For a value of 6 seconds, everything's fine.
Yeah. Ben, what was the last thing that Zolf did? Has he just shaped the stone?
Yeah, so I leapt off down the stairwell and shaped the stone on the door.
Okay.
Not that you know where I am.
Invisible!
She can see the stone move.
Oh, that's true. You can see the stone moving.
Okay.
Or hear it, I guess, but yeah.
You could have taken the time to etch into the floor just a little arrow pointing you to saying, I am here.
I can't write. I'm not capable of fine detail.
Fair play. Okay, in that case then, Azu, you are up.
Okay, so I'm still on Topaz, which means I have an 80-foot move/fly speed, which means I can get up onto the platform.
And technically you're not stood, you're hovering above the doorway, above Zolf, I guess.
What Azu is going to do, hovering above the doorway, not above Zolf. This is very important. I'm not going to do this above Zolf.
Yeah, sure. There's enough space for that.
She gets out her bag of holding and she tips out all of the marbles. All of the marbles that she has accumulated down the holes and down the stairs.
That's a really good idea. That's a really... How many is that, like?
That's so many, Alex.
Literally thousands.
Thousands of marbles.
Thousands.
Potentially
I feel like it's like 9,000 marbles, give or take, isn't it, Helen? Something like that?
It was a lot. It was like 30 gold worth of marbles or something ridiculous like that.
Pretty sure you spent 50 gold on marbles and you've used like 10 of them. Maybe a couple of dozen at most.
Yeah, you're looking at around like at least like 9,000 marbles are now pouring. Oh, so you're just upending the bag of holding and it just goes... Marbles!
And Alex, you have yourself to thank for this, because I remember at the time that it was pointed out to me how many marbles I had, you were like, that could legitimately be of use.
Yeah.
And it has been of use.
Would you like the good news or would you like the bad news?
Yes.
Okay. So the good news is a torrential wave of marble starts pouring into that space. Just pouring and pouring and pouring. Technically, for this many, you might actually have had to, if this was real life, hold it for a while because of the diameters. But I don't care. So I'm just plopping them out all in one go. And they are pouring down into that hole. I'd say that probably one or two ping out the sides of the tower at lower levels just by virtue of velocity and mass. Just like, doo, doo, doo. One other thing, though, which is your bad news, is it's loud. This is like 10,000 marbles just going...
No, Alex, it's about 9,000.
No, you're right,
Over 9,000, but about 9,000. So, like, if that's a DC, you know, Grieve can't
There's
hear if it's
also-
under 10,000 marbles. That's an important distinction.
There's also a massive dragon nearby and people clomping around, so I feel like it's not loud. It's all very loud. We're in a loud place.
The entire city of London just did a scream, so, you know.
And also, like, to be clear, you've effectively filled this stairwell and it's just... I mean, Zolf is levitating, so it's effectively like bumping Zolf upwards as it fills and then... Oh my god, you've turned Big Ben into a marble run.
Yeah.
Just, we'll never see it, but it's a ridiculous... All the skeletons, like... inside Elizabeth Tower, like, tumbling over. Whoa!
I vote the camera of the campaign's focus just cuts into Marble Olympics for the next 3 minutes, while Alex describes in minute detail which marble keeps overtaking which other marble on a race to the bottom of the tower.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is ask if Azu wants to use a move action. Is what I'm gonna do instead.
Yes, Azu will then fly up onto the platform, assuming that Zolf is going to join her there.
Sure. In which case, then, Zolf, you are up.
All right, so into the headphones as I start moving. Oh, it's a good point, actually. How far down am I in the stairwell?
15 feet.
15, okay, cool. Yeah, so as I'm moving, I'll be to, like, Babbage, like, right, I'm almost going to get you set up, start talking me through how. And then while he's talking, I will move up 15 feet, and then I'll sort of do the classic punt and drag myself sort of up the glass with my hands while levitating. And so 15, 20...
Like a space gondolier.
25, 30, 35, Yeah, 40, and I put it there. Okay, yeah, and I'm going to put Babbage down in front of me in one of the central 4 squares of the platform. I'm pinging it for the GM's benefit, but I'm putting him there. But he's as central as I can mechanically get him because of how the squares land.
No, I get you. Babbage, is able to start walking you through it. And to be clear, you're effectively going to be taking an extendable sort of aerial, placing it down. You're going to be connecting that into the array. The cable has a certain amount of slack, but we're not talking hundreds of feet. And then you have the weight.
Yeah, so I kind of I'm going to take, I use my standard action to start setting that up, so however far I can get. What I'm trying to do is, if it's allowed, kind of nestling the Babbage box underneath the tripod, so it's all occupying a single square, if that's possible. I don't know how big the apparatus is.
I'm going to say that's possible.
Cool.
Otherwise, that is a comically large backpack.
Yeah, so it's all occupying the same square, and I'm fiddling with the buttons and following Babbage's instructions to get it all set up.
Understood. In which case, then, the root creatures are hurling themselves up the walls. We're not just talking climbing. Their move speed is utterly unaffected by the verticality, and as you'll remember, they were able to sink themselves into the stone and so on, so they are just hurtling themselves up the walls of Parliament. And there is frankly an equal amount moving up the tower. However, it seems like there's so much stuff that frankly it's just taking what it can get. Meanwhile, Gweave beelines towards Hamid, and in so doing passes comparatively near to the tower. In terms of distance, Gweave may not be able to turn well, but Gweave can move at pace and rockets along by 250 feet.
Oh my.
There is a non-mechanical shockwave from the movement. And as doing so, turns, takes a deep breath, and then at Elizabeth Tower.
Flyby.
So here's the clarification there, Alex. If I've taken Babbage off, is the object just going to get melted?
Here's what's going to happen for that, okay? Gweave is moving quick, but not quick to the point where no one would get a reaction. And because people had movement left over, I think it's reasonable for one of you to place yourselves between Gweave and the device and to human shield it without a reflex save. This is not a sneaky thing. This is something, and you had movement left over. I'm fudging it slightly, but frankly, I think it's better this way. So I am happy for one of you. You will have to occupy the square to the east of it to act as effectively a shield for the device.
Okay, I'm happy to do that because, Zolf, you're setting it up.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
And you are larger, you just have more mass than I do, so...
Yeah, I'll do that.
So yeah, we've rockets along, and can I get a reflex save from Hamid and from Sel, please?
Ooh. 18.
17.
You both just managed to shield your eyes. Wild, you have no idea of, is invisible. As far as we're concerned, it is Zolf and Azu only, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Can I please get a reflex save from both of you?
That's good.
That's bad. 10.
24.
In which case then, strap in. I got some rolling to do.
Is Topaz also included in...
Oh, yes. Topaz is included. Can I get a reflex save for Topaz?
Now remember, Helen, Topaz takes half this damage. I take 1.5 damage.
Yep. Topaz only gets 16.
Right, I have finished rolling the dice. You'll have noticed that you wouldn't hear anything because there was a lot and it took a while. Everyone on the tower, by which I mean Azu and Zolf, and Azu, you are shielding Babbage because I'm feeling generous.
Thank you.
And Topaz is there too.
And Topaz. So here's the thing. Everyone takes 122 fire damage. I honest to God rolled it 122 with 120 just whoop.
And do you know what that means? It means Topaz takes 1 damage and I take 3. I've got loads of hit points.
Listeners, seriously, there were, while the dice were rolling, so many heartfelt conversations about, if the characters die, but we still manage to, set the device off, then really it's a good poetic ending. There was so much heartfelt, it's fine, I can lose these characters, and it will be okay. It will be okay. And there's ding!
Alex, can I'll just let you know I still have 9 temporary health. So I'm still over.
Hey, that's fine.
Okay.
I can do this all day.
That's fine.
That's the problem.
I'm standing up against the universe here. I'm proud of myself. You can't take that away from me.
I'm proud of you too.
In terms of a description for everyone else, thankfully, Sel and Hamid passed their reflex save so they can see what's happening. Just pure heat rolls out. Sections of the roof liquefy. Huge chunks of masonry are just chucked out into space and then fall down into the horde, squishing them Lord of the Rings trebuchet style, for those of you who care.
We've probably bought some time with them then.
The glass parts of the roof all shatter, and most of the walkway starts to buckle, but is still functional.
So are we on grill here? We're not.
Filigreed, wasn't it? So the metal bit is...
You're on a sort of like Victorian-esque wrought iron. It's not iron, spoilers, but
Okay.
well, not spoilers. It's frankly it's a posher metal than iron in a fantasy metal way.
Mithril.
But it is certainly warped from the heat and a little bit precarious now.
Okay, we're not falling yet.
And yeah, just from the outside looking in, the top of the tower has just exploded, and because everyone's still technically invisible, right? Or is Zolf not invisible now? I've lost track.
No, we're all invisible.
It's only Hamid who's visible.
Yeah, and it's Hamid and Babbage.
Yeah, so at the moment then, the device can still be seen, seemingly unharmed. And Hamid, you now find yourself a lot more face-to-face with a Gweave, who is up in your grill and immediately facing off at you, but has no standard action.
Yeah, she used it. You're welcome.
Which is a very, very important factor. Sel, you are up.
How far away is the dragon from Sel?
You're at about 200 feet, give or
For
take.
goodness sake, wherever Sel goes, like, they can't frickin' hit this dragon. I was even trying to fly towards the thing, and then it flew away.
I mean, it flew 250 foot. Like, that's the problem. That's a lot of movement.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what would make sense for Sel to do is to bomb the things that are crawling up the tower, but that would attract the attention of the dragon. So
here's the thing. I'm going to throw you some help because it's getting very abstract with all this vertical movement, okay?
Yep.
You could attack things climbing up the tower on the far side from which Gweave is. So unless Gweave has omniscience...
They're quite loud.
The issue you're going to have is that once you attack your invisibility, you didn't go greater, did you? How you went lesser? So as a result, once you attack, you'll stop being invisible, which means you're waiting for something to notice you.
That's fine, because then they can fly away. And also, their blood is literally boiling. So if they get attacked in the right way, they will kill most things that attack.
And the benefit is, the blood's going to fall down, and it's definitely going to hit something, because you can't even see the ground anymore.
Yeah. Probably.
It's all valid targets.
Woo! Does it look like anything is nearing the top of the tower? Any of the crawly climby things?
Yeah, you think you can see 3 that are approaching the top of the tower.
Okay.
If you look towards the base of the tower, it's innumerable. But in terms of ones that have a lead, you're looking at, maybe around 3.
And these are planty things?
They are the root-type creatures that you have encountered previously.
Cool.
Interpret that how you will.
In which case, my move speed currently is 60, so I can move to being within, let's say, within 15 foot of them. I want to throw an exfoliant bomb at the one that is highest up the tower.
Okay, cool. Give me the attack roll.
Oh, I rolled 19, so that is 29.
Nice.
Yeah, you're fine. So it's a strong hit.
So that means that I'm rolling 7d8 plus 14 splash damage.
Nice.
You're going to be doing chunky damage on this.
I managed to roll absolute garbage, so the total is only 29.
That's still a
Yeah.
hefty whack.
Still damage.
Yeah. I know it's damage, but it's just I rolled 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
I feel your pain. I did the same with the dragon.
Bugger off.
Oh, well.
So anyway, yes, that is 29 damage. Also, I can declare bombs sticky, so that's just...
So, to be clear, your invisibility sort of pops as you take the offensive action. Nothing seems to have noticed you at first. Then there's an explosion. One of them seems very badly, shredded by it. And they all start looking around for you. And I am going to roll, because there's a lot going... Oh, no, they rolled really high. They notice you, at which point you can see all of the other root monsters that are sort of within your line of sight all turn to sort of see you.
That's cool.
However, you're a decent distance, so if they were going to try and hit you, unless they've got range stuff, they're going to have to leap.
Yep.
Bear in mind, they could have range stuff, that's not come up, but
Yeah.
you're not against the tower, is what I'm getting at for listeners' benefit.
Is the thing that I hit dead?
No.
In which case, remember the bomb is sticky, so it's gonna get 12 damage next turn.
Noted.
Okay.
In which case then, Hamid, it is your turn. You are currently, in a lot of ways, living the dream, by which I mean you have enormous dragony wings, you're flying using them, you're powerful, you're exploding things, and you're fighting a dragon, which in an RPG is in a lot of ways the goal. Everything beyond this is bonus.
Hamid, as Grieve was shooting towards him, was scared but ready until Grieve turned their head and firebombed the top of the tower, at which point he's just like, no, not them, me, not them, me. But he waits for Grieve to approach and flings out his two hands, one directly at Grieve's face. He's been floating about 50 foot above the roof of the House of Parliament, and literally any person who is still on the roof, more or less directly below Grieve, will do, as the second hand shoots at them. And he calls lightning, which shoots in the reverse direction, raising from the person on the roof, shooting up and illuminating Grieve. He will once again be using the Rod of Maximize. He's casting, what's it called? Lightning Arc. There has to be two targets, so I'm hoping there's still someone beneath Grieve alive on the roof that can act as the other target, basically.
There is.
Good.
Does this allow spell resistance?
Yes.
How many uses of that thing do you have?
The rod, 3. So this is my second.
Oh, I thought you only had one, so...
Yeah, this is bonuses.
Yeah.
Do you need me to roll the spell resistance, then?
I do, and I need you to roll well.
Good luck.
Which die is going to be friendly to me? Come on.
Pick your friendliest die.
24.
That's pretty good.
Insufficient.
Dragons suck.
Dragons are wildly magical.
This is now a We Hate Dragons podcast.
The Arc of Lightning, I'm assuming on a failed spell resistance there's no additionals. That's incredibly rare in Pathfinder.
Oh, yeah. No, it just means... I think as well as one of the two targets, I think it just means the spell fails completely because it's got nothing to anchor between.
Unfortunately, effectively, I'm going to say that the Arc can go off, meaning that from your perspective, you know there's someone on the rooftop.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it just scatters across the scales, which glow golden light for a second and then dissipates.
Yeah, I mean, the person on the roof does get a reflex save against the 78 damage that just did. Just FYI.
Oof.
If you want to take that, I don't know. Yeah, Hamid is going to follow Skrark's example from earlier. He's going to use his move action not to fly in a straight line, not to flee, but to effectively he's going to fly in close to Grieve.
Yeah,
he's going to start to circle round the dragon's body. He's going to be a fighter attacking a capital ship, and reducing the range is actually the most effective rather than extending it.
I understand.
I assume that's going to take a fly skill check.
What I'm going to do for this is I'm actually nerfing ever so slightly the dragon in one way, which is the flight stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to do opposed flight checks to see who gets the upper hand by virtue of it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bearing in mind, mechanically, for your benefit, Bryn, you'll know what that means. This thing is very clear to you, has the clumsy rating for flight.
Yeah. Hamid cannot beat the dragon, but he may be able to keep it away from the rest of you long enough.
You've only got to survive a minute.
And how long has it been already?
No, it's a minute from now.
A minute from now.
Yeah, assuming I turn it on next round. I think Babbage said it would take about
I'm going to say, basically, like, your setup's done. It took a round to set up. You've done that. It's from next round.
Has it only been, like, a couple of rounds? I feel like we've been doing this for ages.
Yeah.
It's because a lot's happening.
6 combat rounds.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so, what was the fly check?
26.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you this information because I'm trying to be fair, and this is all simultaneous action. It's super clear to you immediately. This was a really good call. She is almost wallowing in the air to try and account for this as a factor. Meta, I rolled true garbage. True garbage. So you're going to be getting a bunch of modifiers here for the fact that she can't really handle you up here. It's like fighting a fly with a broadsword.
Yeah.
Just wondering if dragons have spell resistance when you're inside them.
I mean, obviously I have been considering the fly down her throat move here. Ben, what do you take me for? Some sort of amateur?
I tell you what, I'm going to do something I wouldn't normally do, and this is going to annoy hardcore rules fans. Give me a knowledge arcana, Bryn.
Then I rolled a 19, sure. I mean, that means that lots. 37.
As far as you're concerned, as far as anyone concerned in this world, spell resistance for dragons is located in the scales.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, just going to leave you with that thought.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, can I get a perception check from everyone?
Ooh.
28.
20.
22.
So, Zolf specifically, even though you're working on this, you catch something out the corner of your eye, and unless you're mistaken, that is Apophis throwing himself up from amongst the city and is beelining towards Guive.
The office of the Apophis office is here!
Now, here's a question. Blue veins?
Don't you dare not to!
And I'll take a break there.
Hello, everyone. It's Helen here, and today I'm talking to you about a new show on the RQ network called I Am in Askew, a mind-bending, surrealist horror drama that's perfect for anyone who's into creators like Junji Ito and David Lynch. I'm into both of those creators, so it's certainly going on my list. The show follows David Ward, who is trapped just beyond the human world in a murderous city, which also happens to be alive. A mysterious woman helps him to survive, but she has motives of her own, namely, to burn Askew down. Search for I Am in Askew on all podcast platforms, or visit iaminaskew.com to find out more about what's going on in this bizarre world. Happy listening, everyone.
And welcome back. So you asked a comparatively minor question that I forget.
I've got a blue vein.
No blue veins. No blue veins. No blue veins. Not even little blue veins. No blue veins. No blue veins.
It's a good dragon!
It's very, very difficult to get sneaked up on by a dragon. It seems that Apophis has been loitering amongst the actual buildings and then has suddenly sort of leapt upwards. And it's clear that Guive has noticed this, because it's pretty much in Guive's eye line, and is surprised. I'll leave it at
If
that.
Apophis is here, who else from Cairo is here?
Well, Apophis was in convocation with the other meritocrats out in China, I think. So there are still 4 living meritocrats.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the rest of things, the swarm are now properly swarming up the tower at this point.
Rude.
So there is a lot of that around. I would say you're looking at another, from Cell's perspective, you're looking at one more round, and then the first of them is going to start breaching the top of the tower. Meanwhile, Azu, you are up.
I want to cast Shield Other on Babbage. I want to activate my armor. I want to tell Topaz to guard Babbage. Those are the 3 things I want to do. I know I can't do all of them, but let me check.
Now, I was going to say, is that a standard action? Because that might be a bonus action.
Yeah, and
That's what I'm wondering, because
ordering Topaz to do something should be at most a move action. Is likely a free action because of your various feats. I think you can do all 3, basically.
Wow. Okay.
Bonus, free, and standard. And
You happen to have an incredibly efficient combo there.
All right, so I cast Shield Other on Babbage, which is the same spell that Zolf used. So anything that happens to Babbage is halved and will happen to me instead.
I will need you to remember that, please.
Okay, so that gives Babbage +1 deflection, +1 resistance for saves.
Babbage is feeling very special right now.
Aww. Good. He is extremely special.
If he had cheeks, they'd be rosy.
Aww. Okay, Azu says to Topaz, protect him, indicating the Babbage apparatus and Babbage himself. And I'm not sure how the armor is activated. I think Azu is going to say, Aphrodite, it's now or never.
Nice. And how does it look? Because in the description, it basically says badass, but that's pretty much it, really.
Now, I'm still technically invisible because this is not an offensive action.
We're doing the movie magic thing where we can see you, but there's a slightly wobbly filter, and that's how we know you're invisible.
Azu is now 12 feet 12 inches tall. Weighing whatever 240 times 8 is.
Respect.
She is now mechanically large.
Wait, sorry, hang on. Does that mean she's over a ton?
Yeah, Azu's over a ton and a half.
Weighing over 1 metric ton.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, goodness.
Do not step on the glass roof.
Hopefully this thing you're standing on can support you.
There we go. I'm just embiggening you on the map there.
Accurate.
Thank you.
Also, to be fair, you haven't got off Topaz yet, so...
Oh, I will have got off Topaz.
Okay.
No, it's fine. You don't get off Topaz. You just grow, and your feet hit the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And you grow off, so Topaz
you do
just
that.
walks through your legs.
You do that sort of... You do that little backwards scoot that you do, like.
But somehow it is glamorous and elegant.
Oh, yeah, no, very much so.
Okay.
Very heroic.
I get a +2 enhancement bonus to my armor, which I think means... Yeah, I think that stacks, because I don't think I've got any other bonuses there.
Effects.
Yep.
My axe has also grown
Oh,
alongside me.
In which case, then, is there anything else that you can squeeze into this turn?
Just the detail that my armor is covered in roses now.
Oh, yes.
Like carved in, yeah. Lovely.
Good call. In which case, Zolf, is it Zolf's?
Yes,
It's Zolf's go. Have I
It's
finished
Zolf's turn.
Have I set up Babbage?
The device is now set up. If you choose, you can activate it.
I hit the go switch, and then I cast resist energy fire on him.
Okay, understood. Anything else? You're actually well placed to continue blocking Guivre, etc., same as Azu is.
Yeah, no, I stay next to him because I've got reach and 2 attacks opportunity. He's got resist energy 20 for the next 110 minutes, so he's got resist energy 20 on fire.
I think you have not updated the effect of resist energy to your level. I believe at the cast level you are at, resist energy provides resist energy of 30.
Oh, God, it's at 11th level. I assumed 12. Yeah, no, sorry, it's resist energy 30. Thank you, Bryn.
Yep. In which case, then...
I mean, he's not going to be hit by Guivre anymore, but, you know,
Hopefully
just in
not.
case.
Yeah.
In which case, then, the first of the creatures manages to make the side... Basically manages to breach the top of the wall. I'm just going to add them now. Please bear with me. So this one has just started to climb up. So that means that now Azu and Zolf, you can see the first of the Guardians are sort of popping their head over. Although it seems mostly, frankly, looking at Cell.
Is this the one that I already hit?
You have already hit this, yeah.
Okay.
Like a chunk of its arm is blown off, a shoulder's missing, and if it had guts, they'd be falling out, but they're not.
Cool.
The 2 lower ones obviously are continuing to climb up as well. There may be some on other sides of the tower that you can't see, but broadly speaking, the tower is now under a siege, as it were. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Guivre beelines straight towards Apophis and then goes for a bite. Just a standard old bite to the neck, and then snaps on an Apophis that isn't there, that dissolves into motes of light. But wastes an entire turn doing it and is now 250 feet, give or take, away from the tower.
He's such a good boy.
He is.
What a good wild.
Who's a fluffy NPC?
Who's a fluffy NPC? We did a good job.
But yeah, Guivre is now currently casting about in the stage of what can best be described as Meanwhile, Cell, you are now up.
Right, top of my turn, that creature that I hit gets an additional 14 points of damage.
14? Ooh.
Yeah, it's 14 splash the defoliant on plants.
So interestingly,
Yep.
it reaches the top and then just crunches away and then falls backwards off the tower.
I was really hoping that, the idea of Azu and Zolf being we're squared up, and then the thing goes
That's exactly what happens.
And Sel just yells, "I've got this!" Aww. At least one face of the tower, because there are 3 other faces of the tower that, given the range of bombs, they probably can't help you with. So, how many other creatures can I see on this face of the tower that are within range?
2 that are within range. There are many upcoming, but there are only 2 that are within range.
Ugh. And they're next to each other?
Yes.
Okay, well, I throw the first bomb at one of them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Give me
just
the
throw
attack
2
roll.
bombs, one at each, and if they both hit, they'll both be dead.
Exactly, they both get splash from the other.
From the other.
Yeah, come on, be good, be good. 22?
22 is a miss, but a very, very, very close miss.
What attack bonus are you applying?
10.
Okay, if you are not applying the feat rapid shot, would that instead be 12? Because you can get 2 attacks from just using haste without applying rapid shot.
Oh, fine. Yeah, okay. I am going to trust with the fact that Bryn knows the maths and that works better. So I'm basically back to my normal 4 attacks.
In which case, that's a hit.
Okay, cool. 23.
23 damage.
Yep, and there is 14 splash damage to
Understood.
whichever
Next.
is next to it.
Yep.
Then I immediately bomb at the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 12, 20.
That's another close miss, I'm afraid.
That's cool. I've got a third one. 25.
A hit.
Cool.
Good hit.
Let me load up 7d8s.
It's altogether too many d8s, and that's coming from someone who's currently in control of a dragon.
27. And then that does 14 splash damage to the one that's next to it.
The second one that you hit falls away.
The other one that got 23 originally and now has had another 14.
Is still kicking around, but looks really unhealthy.
It's going to get another 14 because it's a sticky bomb the beginning of my next round.
You think this probably isn't going to make it over the top of the tower either.
Okay, cool.
You think there's going to be a bit of whack-a-mole here where they keep showing up and going, hello. Ah! In which case then, Hamid, you're up. And weirdly enough, alive.
Oh,
Yeah, but I still need to be the one distracting Guive. I would like to fly to approximately 200 foot away from Guive.
Towards the tower or
No,
in a
I
third
want
direction?
to draw her away from the tower as much as
sure.
possible.
So you're probably heading south then, something like that.
Yeah, so I've got 90 foot of movement, so I can loop around a bit, but I need to end at about 200 foot away from her. And
Understood.
keep pulling her away from the tower, ideally. I'm then going to cast a spell I don't think is going to work, but since probably nothing I do is going to work, why should I let that stop me? So again, I've got another
In a lot of ways, that's the moral of the campaign.
Yeah, another new 5th level spell. So I just used Lightning Arc for the first time, which I've had for a while and not cast before. But at our last level up, I also gained the spell Constricting Coils.
Ooh!
I want this one to work.
So
me too.
a sort of illusory dragon bursts into the air around Guive, and it's very much a long, thin one, and it sort of twists and starts to wrap itself around Guive's form, and then brings its wings in to try and lock Guive up. So, firstly, obviously, we have the spell resistance roll.
Roll well.
Yeah.
Please roll well. This would be so cool. I really want this for you.
18, so that's a total of 29.
Oh, please!
Oh, that's high.
Bear with me. I'm looking it up. There's a lot here.
I'm focusing so hard on like the little bit of Alex's face. I can
It's
see.
close. I'll tell you that for free. Give me a second. Yeah. It works.
Okay. Now, assuming that Guive is not immune to paralysis effects, and dragons often are, but...
Is immune to paralysis, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no effect. The spell has no effect.
But it looks cool!
That's not true, actually, because the damage will still apply. It's a
gonna
tiny
look this
amount
up.
of damage, but it still applies. Will save to negate the damage effect, DC 20.
I'll roll. It's a decent roll. Give me a second. What was it?
DC 20 will save.
Nah. passes the will save.
Yeah, so that would have negated it even if she wasn't immune to paralysis, but I suspected as much.
Sorry, dragons are the worst.
Yeah.
But they're distracted now by yet another dragon.
That dragon instantly ceases to exist as the will
But
save.
isn't that always the way?
itself.
You wait for one dragon and then 3 come along at once. Okay, in which case then, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Everyone give me a perception check.
31.
15.
28.
32.
Sel and Zolf.
Hello.
I don't know why, you're probably casting around, head on a swivel, keeping an eye out for threats. There is something big and dark just breaking cloud cover immediately above.
It's the vengeance! It's the vengeance! Come on, team!
Something big and dark.
Oh, bigger than the vengeance.
No, could be vengeance size, it's hard to call.
Bowl of smock. Surprise, surprise.
Just breaking cover from the clouds. But it's still too far away to see. You can just see that, that you have like the shadow, then you have the breakthrough.
Yeah.
Currently you can see the looming shadow.
What shape is the shadow? Does it have a wingspan?
Can't tell yet.
Fair enough. It's Hades' hand being like, I'm going to get you.
Less of that!
We've already used the fake meritocrat turns up to help Gambit. I feel like if it's another meritocrat, that's just lazy.
In which
Maybe
case...
it's just the Monty Python foot.
In which case, Zolf... Azu, it's your turn.
I mean, I can't see anyone or anything, really, can I?
Currently, no, weirdly. I mean, you can see a Gweave, but...
There's nothing I can do about that.
You get the distinct impression you're in the calm before the storm.
Then all I'm going to do, I think... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold it. I've got no one to attack. I was going to say I might move, but the only place to move is to one or the other side of the platform, and if something appears on the other side, I've got to move back to go and hit it. So
I mean, it's you on one walkway, Zolf on the other. It's, you're back to back with the MacGuffin between you, holding on until the world is saved at this point.
Classic.
Pretty cool.
What are you thinking? Just holding your action and waiting for something to go off?
Basically, yeah.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. For what it's worth, if I was playing you, I'd be doing the same.
Yeah.
It's full defense mode.
In which case, Zolf, you're up. You
Yes.
have now nothing further to do with the apparatus, by the way. Babbage was like, you push that button and then you just make sure I don't explode.
Yep, so I draw a little circle around Babbage and I cast Sanctuary. That means anyone who wants to try and attack him needs to pass a will save equal to my spellcaster DC. Obviously, area effect attacks ignore this because they just cover the area. And I take a step to my... I'm on the other gantry.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
I'm just standing there with my glaive out.
Understood.
You got all 4.5 foot of Zolf defending one gantry, and all 12.5 foot of Azu defending the other.
Yeah.
Hey, with his reach weapon, they're
Yeah.
threatening about the same area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At which point, a number of the root creatures manage to pop up above the parapet on other sides.
Okay.
4 crop up. They are all on the south side because Sel's been keeping an eye on the north side.
Yep. Stuff.
From the view of anyone who can see down the sides, stuff is now swarming towards the tower. Enough's been going on that they've gotten wise or something, but stuff is swarming up the tower. As they do so, though, the cloud cover breaks. And, hack as it may be, yes, Apophis
The real one.
The real one!
We still don't know.
is plummeting from cloud cover. Think peregrine falcon, wings tucked in, covering huge amounts of distance, vast amounts of distance. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to make it to basically Gweave or anything similar this round.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. The distances are too great. Clouds don't work like that. But Apophis seems to be running way quicker than Apophis's move speed. This looks like a possible suicide run.
Yeah.
Because it is just straight to the ground as fast as you can go.
I love it. I love if it's another illusion and Wild is just like, well, it worked the first time.
But Wild wouldn't put it right above us.
Yeah.
At which point, Gweave
Rolls his eyes. Not another dragon, like 3 in a row? Come on, I'm not
Looks
that
up.
stupid.
notices and ignores it. Ha. and sweeps towards Hamid.
Fool me twice. Shame on.
That's what I was going for. That was
How
apparently
far
the
away
plan.
are you?
About 200 foot. Yep.
Right up to your face. Takes a deep breath.
Oh, God.
Probably
Everyone give me a reflex save. Yep.
Oh, dear.
Low DCs for anyone that isn't Hamid, high DCs for Hamid.
15.
Okay.
19 for Azu, 30 for Topaz.
Natural 20!
Congrats. 20.
27. But that's a lot less interesting than
Everyone else isn't blinded. Was that a nat 20 on the reflex save?
Natural 20, 31 total.
Oh, little boy!
Fabulous. In which case, you're going to be taking some damage to your magic fire force field, but
Half damage at least.
You haven't been hit yet.
here we go. Entertain yourselves as I roll my billion dice. 116 halved.
All right. Okay,
Just your world goes white.
Hamid takes 58 fire damage.
It's fine. You got loads of temporary hit points.
Just don't get hit again.
You have been in the mid.
that.
Congratulations! Not many players sit in the middle of a dragon's fire breath and go, "This is exactly where I want to be."
No. The reflex save means he did something successfully to dodge and therefore reduce the damage. So I like to think that instead of just sitting there waiting for the fire, rather than backing off where he could be more accurately targeted, he flew into it towards the smallest part of the cone to burst out the very small bit of the cone of fire, taking some, but by it being, for now, mostly okay.
You just dodged the translucent bit of the flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't do it again.
I mean, Hamid has done more damage than this to himself on purpose.
True.
That's
Right.
true.
And I think this is a sensible place to end the episode with you, frankly, surviving in a way I was not ready for. But here we are. Nonetheless, congratulations. We're now way off piste. Hamid's alive. Cell's alive. This isn't the ending I planned at all, but it's going very well.
Helen, he planned for us to live.
If I can keep the dragon away from the rest of you, I'm doing my job.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
But yeah, I'm going to end the episode there. We get to still bounce on and see immediately what happens while the rest of you are left on tenterhooks. But until then, bye everyone.
Bye.
Rusty Quill Gaming is a podcast distributed by Rusty Quill and licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 international license. Today's episode was directed by Alexander J. Newell and produced by Hannah Preisinger. To subscribe, buy merchandise or join our Patreon, visit rustyquill.com. Rate and review us online, tweet us at The Rusty Quill, visit us on Facebook or email us via mail@rustyquill.com. Join our community on the Discord or via Reddit at r/rustyquill. Thanks for listening.